There are two kinds of hospitals, one that treats patients, and the other that changes the people who work inside those hospitals. For more than a decade, I believed hospitals exist for only one purpose, which is to save lives, to diagnose, to treat, to discharge. And then I walked into one such hospital that quietly asked me a different question. What if hospitals could heal doctors too? That's a dangerous question because doctors are not very good at admitting the fact that they also sometimes need healing. Hello, all. I am Dr. Vamshidhar Argula, an emergency physician, a story collector, and a professional observer of human chaos. For more than a decade, I spent my life treating emergencies. I want to tell you about something that medicine never taught me. Welcome to Code Blue Confessions. When people imagine emergency medicine, they imagine adrenaline, running, monitor alarms, ambulances, CPR, trauma. They rarely imagine what happens after the shift ends. Because here's the truth, emergency medicine doesn't stop when you remove the scrubs, when you remove the apron. The body leaves, the mind often doesn't. You carry conversations back to your home, you replay those decisions, you remember faces, you wonder if you have if you could have done anything different. You become so accustomed to functioning in survival mode that eventually survival itself begins to feel normal. And then something strange happened. I started working here and nothing dramatically changed. The patient still arrived, the responsibility remained, the medicine was still medicine, but something subtle began happening to me. I started looking up. I know that sounds ridiculous, but think about it. When was the last time you walked through your corridors, walked through your workplace, and actually looked up? I did. And instead of fluorescent ceilings, I'll show you what I saw. I saw I saw sunlight, real light pouring through glasses, landing on leaves, dancing on water, and for no reason, I simply cannot understand this. My shoulders relaxed, not because my job has gotten any easier, because the environment became kinder. That got me into thinking. We spend billions researching medicines, machines, technology, artificial intelligence. But tell me, how much of attention do we give to the spaces where healing happens? I mean, imagine two people, both waiting for a difficult news. And one sits staring at a blank wall, and another sits beside a garden in such spaces. Can anyone honestly tell me those two experiences are the same? I know the answer. Healing is not only about chemistry. Sometimes healing is psychology. Sometimes it's architecture. Sometimes it's just a ray of sunlight finding its way through the window. I mean, look at this place. Nobody needed to plant those trees. Nobody needed a fountain. Nobody needed an open courtyard. But someone chose them. Someone believed that beauty has a place in the healthcare too. And I think they were pretty right because something unexpected happened. The more I spend time here, the less hurried I become. I still worked hard, I still cared deep, I still carried those responsibilities, but somewhere along the way, urgency stopped becoming my personality. Urgency is no more my trait. And maybe that's the lesson. Doctors don't need any less responsibilities. All they need is those environments that allow them to carry those responsibilities without being crushed under it. And the fascinating thing is, patients also notice it. The family members of those patients also notice it. Being calm is contagious, kindness is contagious. A smile travels much faster than we think. And perhaps so does peace. And maybe that's why this beam of sunlight, it caught my attention today. Maybe it reminded me that light doesn't ask permission before it enters a room. It simply arrives quietly, without any applause, without announcements. And before you realize it, the entire room feels different. And maybe people can become like that too. Maybe hospitals can become like that too. Maybe all of us. Maybe all of us have that ability to become that single beam of light for someone else. Not by saying any extraordinary thing, simply by creating spaces where people can breathe again, where people can feel lively again, where people can drop down their shoulders. Thank you for walking with me today. I am Dr. Vamshidhar, and these are my Code Blue confessions. And before we meet up again, remember, life whispers before it screams. Pay attention.